Hey now, how we doing? Welcome on into the Ryan Ripken Show. Can you guys hear me okay? Yep. Loud and clear. Can you turn me up a little bit, Brad?
Yes.
Beautiful. And you know what? Welcome all beautiful people into this edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. Happy Wednesday. We're back at it here, middle of the week. We got a whole lot to talk about. I know it might be raining in the Baltimore, Maryland region. Well, maybe that's purple rain. Shout out Prince. But how about the Ravens making a big splash as Gier Alexander is signing with the boys in purple and black? We'll get into all of that. I know. Exciting. We're jacked up about it. We got to talk about that, right? And then don't worry. We got a lot of baseball to talk about as the Orioles, they're trying to gain some ground. We will touch on what is happening, recent roster moves, and kind of go around what they need to do in the American League to continue to climb that ladder. And then Rafael Devers, that is still the big story around baseball. We discussed it in depth yesterday, but there's still some more conversation. Pedro Martinez is one of the people that expressed his feelings about maybe the words that were being chosen to describe Rafael Devers. And then what else happened? Oh, by the way, Rafael Devers did a pretty damn good job in his debut with the San Francisco Giants. And it got chippy also out west with those Dodgers and those San Diego Sheetses, the Gavin Sheetses of the world out there. But we got all that and a whole lot more. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule the Cooking with Kyle on Wednesday. So that is actually tomorrow. So Thursday, we will be cooking with Kyle. So don't worry. You will get your fix on the Iron Rooster. But with us in studio today, to my right, you see him usually all the time. He wears the same exact hat. Zach Bollinger. Bolly, how we doing?
Doing well. Feels good to be have a little more crowded studio, you know.
You can speak up though. You don't have to use your inside voice.
I'm just over here trying to start my day off, kind of slow. I'm like meditating into, we have a jam-packed show. It is a marathon, not a sprint, Rip. Okay. I can't come out guns a-blazing.
You can have a little bit of enthusiasm.
I'm just over here trying to, go about my, get work done. If you want me to play a different position, I'm going to have to go to San Francisco.
Yeah, it's not a culture fit is what I'm starting to see right now. The culture fit isn't here, but you know what? I'll have someone else bring some enthusiasm because you heard him get excited about the move, and he hasn't had a chance to be in here in studio behind the sticks, Mr. Brad. Brad, how we doing?
Just doing damage control. It's like every time I leave here, somebody screws something up. Yeah. I'm going to start writing
that's not the energy I needed you to come in here with, by the way.
Notes is not a bad idea.
I'm just saying, like I need sticky notes to just stop touching the shit. Stop touching the equipment.
You know what?
We did have a couple. We had shows on the road, though, by the way.
I understand that, but everybody, Zach's been trained. You've been trained. Everybody fucking forgets what the settings were, and they don't put them back. Then I got to come up in here and do damage control.
Okay. You know that meme where it's the guy who he's like standing in front of the cables all sticking out? That's me and Rip looking. When something's wrong, we'll be like staring at the roadcaster like, maybe plug it in 4. Plug it in 3 now. Test. Plug it in 2. Just stand there.
Well, good to have everyone back here. How about, you know what? Let's do a positive here. Next thing, we'll get a tutorial, a booklet on what we should do and where it should be.
Roadcaster for dummies. I need Roadcaster for dummies.
Yeah, goodness. Gracious.
Although, Brad, we can't talk about videos not working. Florida was our bad on. Why did you guys go on the beach? What are you talking about?
That was all me. That was just not watching a video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just did a tutorial to help you. Yeah. Yeah, I took time out of my day right there to show you the way, to show you where to go.
Not watching the next 15 seconds of that video costs Brad and I about now
2 hours.
40. Yeah.
So what's the moral of the story? Watch the video through, right? Yeah. So in this case, for all of you out there, we hope you watch this episode through. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, live on YouTube, X, and Facebook now. So let us know where you're tuning in from. I saw some people on Facebook saying hello. Appreciate that. Richard, I see you. Our usual suspects on YouTube. Thank you guys, as always, for joining in. And we are on Instagram, X, TikTok, at Ryan Ripken Show. And that's all I got to say about that. But we got a lot to say about this. And we don't talk a lot of football in the summer because, guys, it gets repetitive, right? How much can you say about
watch ESPN if you want that?
Oh, and I saw the other day on ESPN, the Cowboys, what does it mean for Dak Prescott's legacy? Well, that's great. I mean, everybody, what happens if you win as a Super Bowl? Does that help your case? Of course.
Yeah.
But so the point is, it's a slow summer when it comes to football and everything else. We cover baseball. Why? Baseball's running the summer. And we're based out of Baltimore, where a team is, and down in D.C., another team's there with the Washington Nationals. But we do talk about it when news breaks. And this is a big move. The Baltimore Ravens have officially signed Jaire Alexander, former Green Bay Packer. When he's healthy, has proven to be one of the best corners in the game. He's joining a loaded secondary in Baltimore. But I think the cooler part of this whole thing is that Jaire is not just a great cornerback. He is a great friend to the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens in Lamar Jackson. And actually, Zach, if you don't mind, real quickly, let's play that video just yesterday of Lamar Jackson making the plea to Eric DeCosta on what he should do. Let's play that clip.
Accomplished cornerback available. Have you gotten a chance?
Go get him, Eric. I love all our corners, don't get me wrong, but go get him, Eric.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Jaire about coming here?
Yeah, I hit him up, but you never know with Jaire. That's my boy, man.
So you heard it right from number 8. And he loves Jaire and say, hey, I love our guys. Go get that guy. He's good. Go get him. Well, guess what? Breaking news on that part. If you missed it, Eric went and got him. And the cooler thing is Lamar was the first one to greet him. Let's play that clip for you guys.
My boy, let's do it.
Yeah, I gotta give you the market. Oh, my boy. Sign that wall for us. New edition.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I don't got a number right now, do I? No. All right. Well, we'll just come back to that right now.
Just put a number sign.
So there you go. There you have it. You know what I love with this is it's two guys that it's a brotherhood, right? Them being at college together at Louisville. And if you guys remember that other clip on draft night, Jaire got picked earlier in the first round. Mm-hmm. And then he heard that the Ravens traded back in and took Lamar Jackson with the last pick in the first round. And that excitement, because that's his guy. And now here's an opportunity where Jaire gets to choose where he wants to go. And I want to emphasize this because, Zach, you'll explain why. Jaire chose to come to Baltimore to reunite with one of his best friends, join a loaded Baltimore Ravens team, which when you go through it, they don't have a lot of deficiencies, knocking on wood at the moment for this roster. And, Zach, here's the part. When I say you got to choose, apparently Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show and said there was a lot of suitors that were offering a whole hell of a lot more money.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty funny and classic, I guess Ravens keeping secret. Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show today, and they asked him about, hey, Gier Alexander, what's going on there? And Adam said, okay, the Carolina Panthers are interested in Gier Alexander, and I think there's other teams that are offering many more than Baltimore can. The Ravens are in the conversation, though, and there is mutual interest. So he went on about 12:50 was when he said that. 11 minutes later, the Ravens announced that Jaire Alexander had signed and posted the picture of him putting pen to contract. So I think the moral of the story is the Ravens are really good at keeping a secret. And I also just want to put out there is no way in hell Lamar didn't know that Jaire was already signing when he said, go get him, Eric. Looking back now, I've seen rumors of Jaire's been staying with Lamar since Monday. I bet
Flew directly to
Jaire
Baltimore.
This didn't just happen in 20 minutes. Jaire probably was in Baltimore yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was in the building. They got the job done. And then today they put pen to paper. So, I mean, hey, I love it for a lot of reasons. One, cheap deal. 1 year, $4 million can go up to $6 million. So a prove it deal for a top corner who, let's be completely real, when healthy, now that is a big when because he has missed a lot of games over the past few years. If Gier Alexander can stay healthy and play 13 plus games, this is a massive win for the Ravens. You get a top corner in the NFL for cheap where other teams were offering more. So you get a top corner in the NFL to pair with Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Malachi Starks. Oh, Kyle Hamilton. I mean, you have all this star secondary now. And, you know, you always say you're always as good. You're only as good as your third corner. Well, now your third corner is technically Nate Wiggins, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Before Brad, I get to you on your thoughts because I know you're excited, and it's a big move. And now you mentioned about staying on the field, right?
That's a big thing.
Jaire in 2022 played all 16 games, Pro Bowler, All Pro. It's fantastic. 16 games in 2022. The last 2 seasons, he's played a combined 14, 7 each year, right? So when we're looking at this number, that's a big reason. And then also look at that when he said that a guy of his caliber and being 28 years old, a lot of teams would have played more of a premium, but with maybe the injury and maybe wanted to do a prove it year for 1 year to try to maximize again after this year, the Ravens got him for 1 year. It's being reported $4 million. And Brad, it's the ability to earn $2 million more in incentives. So the Ravens, the upside of this move, they are getting the upside.
Yep.
One of the best corners in the game for $6 million. And that, I mean, I think you take that offer any day of the week.
Yeah, I think there's low risk, high upside. For me, in general, it's more about adding depth. As we all know, it's not just Jaire Alexander to worry about as far as the injury bug's concerned. As Ravens fans, we know what the carousel of DBs looks like season in and season out. And if you have a second, third string guy like Jaire Alexander, I mean, he doesn't have to play all 16 games. You can now limit him if you want. He doesn't have to start every game. He could just go in as a guy as needed, and it's all good because he's only costing you $1 million to the cap.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we just went through, the 5, we're starters, with Wiggins, Starks, Hamilton, Humphrey, and now Jaire. Talk about put all 5 on Jamar Chase when we put all 5 on them. I refuse to let him, if you got to put all 5 on him.
Correct.
Just somehow. That's what I'm looking forward to. But it is one of those things, in all seriousness, Brad, like you're saying, he doesn't have, because of the depth you have, you're not asking Jaire Alexander to come in here and be like, hey, dude, you're corner 1. Yeah. Like, you need to take the top guy all 17 games, and if you don't, we're out of luck. It's hey, give us 14. Be healthy, focus on that, and just give us good reps. And I think, for $4 million up to $6 million, I think it's a fantastic deal.
People gave Lamar a bunch of shit because, in 21 and 22, he didn't play full seasons. They thought maybe he was injured, or the injury bug was maybe getting this guy and it was in a contract year, whatever else. And then all he did was have an MVP season. So I hear the naysayers on the injury stuff, but I don't think that this is indicative of what the rest of his career could be like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, I know we look at running backs and we look at certain players where you have to be even more explosive. And playing corner, arguably, when you're talking about the positions, like playing the quarterback position is the hardest because of what you have to compartmentalize, the mental side, and to read the defenses, take the pressure. That's a different type of mentality, right? Like, that's one thing. Cornerback, to me, is that position that if you are highlighted when you're burned, the wide receiver knows what route he's running, and you just have to be prepared at all times. That's why it's so hard, and guys can break down. But 28 years old right now, currently for Jaire.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting part.
In his prime.
And I love what you just said, Zach. He doesn't have to come to this team to be the superstar defensive player. You already have a few of them.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton can go be the playmaker. See what Starks can be. You still have Matta Beeks down there in the trenches. Oh, and then by the way, you still have Roquan Smith that can be the anchor. And whether you're saying, oh, Roquan's going downhill, please miss me with that. I'm not saying Roquan's going to be the same player he was for years past, but we're talking about really good players on this team. And Jaire joins right with that conversation, joins a loaded team, which will be a very fun race for this year for the Baltimore Ravens. Why? The schedule is going to be challenging. They won the division last year. When you win the division, guess what? You got to go and play some of the division's best. You got to go to Kansas City. And I'll tell you what, going to play Kansas City, going to play Buffalo, I'm really excited for that Buffalo game, seeing Jaire out there and work through it. And I saw some comments here. I know, Trizzle, you're saying the offense and whatnot. I mean this wholeheartedly. I think if nothing were to happen, knock on wood with me. Knock if you're with me right there. There we go. On paper, this could be one of the deepest rosters that the Ravens have had on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, your third wide receiver is DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
Your second running back is Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell. And your first one is
Ali.
What?
No, I was just tossing Rasheen Ali.
Of course, because Marshall, we are Marshall. You can say the line obviously can be the shuffling. I get that. You can say that. You have two tight ends that can play at an elite level. And then on the defensive side, you have a star player at every part of that defense. Line, linebacker, defensive back, corner, safety. It's remarkable, but you got to play the damn game. But sure does get you excited up here in Baltimore. And if you're excited or you just like tuning into the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Why? Because it helps us help you and get the word out there for everyone that's trying to find what we are doing. That is, we are live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, YouTube, X, and Facebook. But we also do other forms of content. We'll have an impromptu when moves are made. We'll have interviews. Sneak peek, teaser. We might be having one of those right after the show ends that could be airing on Sunday. And there could be another one that I think people will definitely know both of these, but the second one for sure played for a while. So we got a lot of different ways to give you guys content, but we appreciate it. It's all about the community. We've grown because of you. And hell, Brad, we had the 17,000 milestone on YouTube just last week, and we just went over 18,000 like 4 days later. Yeah. Shirts and pants. So, guys, appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we're still trucking.
We are still trucking.
A lot.
Mhm.
We're trucking a lot. I looked at it this morning. It's like we're up another 200 subscribers
So
since this morning. Unbelievable.
Keep spreading the word. We appreciate everyone who
you guys
tunes in.
are amazing.
And we're working on this. And again, it's not perfect, but who are we kidding? No one's perfect. And we're not afraid to admit that we are going to mess some things up, but we're going to have a damn good time with it in our second full year of doing this. This is not even 2 full years into doing this. Been remarkable. We appreciate each and every one of you. And besides our community, we got to appreciate our sponsors. And obviously behind me, Merit Clubs. Shout out Merit Clubs. I think you might see your boy doing a little performance test tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Zach, we kept you out of that because, it's for the big
Thank
boys.
God.
Well,
Was
we might
not
have to find
prepared for that.
people might see your skill set soon.
My monkey bar skills. I hope they see those. I hope they see those monkey bar skills.
God.
I
feel like I would rip my
It feels
shoulder
horrendous.
out of my
it feels horrendous.
sock.
Nothing felt good.
Why is
about
it when we were kids like it was no problem? I recently tried to do it and I thought that I was going to die.
I started hanging. The worst part was I started hanging, I didn't get the momentum going first, and I went straight down. Was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, then I almost won the race. Photo
You didn't
finish.
almost win the race.
Photo
I
finish.
want to throw that out there.
Photo finish.
Zach, one ended early, and then also, I don't think it
thought
was
we were
close.
stopping there. You said we were going to the end, and your end was way.
How
way
was your
further.
med ball throws?
Oh my gosh, fantastic!
Really good, right?
Incredible.
Really good. Yeah.
Check the tape.
We will check the tape here soon.
All I care about is the the Papa Shot record, which I'm honing in on.
We got to make sure when we have guests come in that they must get on the Papa Shot. And that is, we're going to put the big sign up there, the Deep Eddy Papa Shot.
Yeah.
And if you win or you feel frisky, I think you celebrate with a shot of Deep Eddy. I think
got
maybe that's
83.
what we should do. Yeah, almost there. 10 off the record, 10 off the pace. Just saying, that is increíble, as some would say. You know what's been incredible, guys? That the Baltimore Orioles are about to win the World Series again. Just kidding. Calm down, everybody. But isn't it crazy what a little bit of time and winning some games can change just the thought process? Right? So the Baltimore Orioles, they even the series with the Tampa Bay Rays as we are doing this podcast. Game 3 is tonight. Shocker, right, Zach? Trevor Rogers is going to be on the bump, making his second start of the season, where the Orioles try to take down arguably the hottest team in baseball in the Tampa Bay Rays, who are playing extremely well. But if Baltimore wins, they would move to 8 games under 500, or just a little bit ago, it was get rid of every single person, and fire everyone, sell the team once again.
Yeah, May 24th, the Orioles were 17 games below 500.
And right now, they have an opportunity to win a series against a division rival on the road and continue to build confidence.
Speaking of division rivals, where the Orioles are surging at a time where there's other division rivals that either have a shit ton of drama associated with them, or they just haven't scored a run in 29 innings.
Yeah. You talking about the team up in the Bronx that hasn't scored a run in 29 innings?
That's the one.
The New York Yankees, losers of 7 of the last 10, by the way.
Yes.
And actually, I just saw this was out for the Yankees that according to, let me see if I pulled that up correctly. According to Talking Yanks or Randy J. Miller, he's saying that the Aaron Judge, Stan, and Paul Goldschmidt, along with Cody Bellinger, called a players-only meeting after last night's shutout loss to the Angels. So the Yankees now, their lead in the AL East is 2.5 games over those Tampa Bay Rays. The Toronto Blue Jays are 6 games over 500. The Boston Red Sox over 500. Hey, and guys, by the way, you remember that little bit of time where we're like, yeah, the AL East is down? Stop traffic. They are the only team in baseball besides, actually, give them credit, they're one of 2 divisions in baseball that have 4 teams over 500. You guys want to guess the other one?
2 other teams above 500.
One of the division with 4 teams over 500.
Central.
NL East or NL West.
No, NL West. The Diamondbacks are 36 and 36.
Oh,
Brad, you're correct. The Central, NL Central, or would you say AL?
No, I said Central.
Okay.
Yeah.
Central. Well, that could go either way. We going American, we going national.
NL Central.
Tomato.
He tossed out a wide net and he got it.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. But how about the NL?
Doesn't matter. I'm right.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Congratulations there, Brad.
Thank you.
NL Central, 4 teams are over 500. Cardinals and Reds are both 38 and 35. Milwaukee 39 and 35, and the Cubs 45 and 28, tied for the best record in the National League. So a lot of good things happen in that division, but also in the American League East. And for Baltimore, I'm sorry, if they win tonight, they would be 9 games under 500, if I read that correctly.
Yes.
But you're plugging away. And look, we had this little exercise on the buy or sell, right, Zach, a little bit ago on were the Tigers the team to beat? Who is the team to beat in the American League? Tigers are great, phenomenal right now. They're humming, but do they strike fear from other teams, right? I would say no. When I look at this entire American League, is there one team where you're going, damn, I want no part of them? I can't say that. I can't at all. So when you're looking at that, why couldn't the Orioles go on a little bit of a run? A lot of work to do. But sitting 10 games under 500. And, Zach, what's the current status for their wild card standings?
6 games back.
6 games back. And we were saying yesterday, they get to 5 by the deadline. You're feeling Lloyd Christmas all over again. And what movie is that, Zach?
Oh, Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, good. I know you haven't seen it, but
Actually, no, I have seen Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
breaking news in itself.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I feel like that's not surprising that would be one of the movies I've
Yeah,
seen.
that's all over TV.
Yeah. I
That's-
feel like
that's
Dumb and
syndicated.
Dumber is like there are a lot of like classics I haven't seen, but like I feel like Dumb and Dumber is up my alley of classics I would totally see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, for the Baltimore Orioles, we could look at so many different variations of what's going well with this team, right? So you can look at getting guys healthy, right? That's been good. Jordan Westberg, all he does is produce and compromise.
Yeah.
He's looked great. Dylan Carlson, I saw your tweet out there, Zach. Yeah. Last 21 games, hitting 333?
333. Actually, it is quite incredible. I know everyone wants to get on Mike Elias for not getting an ace and everything, but you do have to give credit where credit's due. Dylan Carlson's last 21 games, 23 hits, which is a 333 average, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, 9 runs, and a 921 OPS. And then over his last 36 games, Ramon Laureano, 34 hits, which is a 291 average, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, and a 907 OPS. So, I mean, just 2 guys that seemingly get in the lineup, they show up to the ballpark, and they do their job.
And look, to that point, I love Tony Taters.
Yeah.
But on paper, it's looking like a solid move as well.
And look, Tony is a guy that seems to heat up when the summertime rolls around, but you can just feel
this is the slowest start he's ever had.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And
yeah, I mean, he is still injured right now because it says he's not ready to throw. I just looked it up 4 days ago. He's still not ready to swing a bat again with his shoulder.
Well, that's not good, Bob.
Just still to further prove the point is all I'm saying. Like, there was a lot of people, including myself, that was upset that Tony was leaving and that like we could still use his bat, but seems as though those are fine, actually.
Well, and the guys, Ramon Laureano's been a fantastic acquisition. You remember when everyone wanted him off the team?
Yes.
A week into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when everyone wanted Ramon Urias off the team? And you remember when I said, "Hey, you know what? Why Ramon's great? Because you're like, hey, Ramon, you might not play for 4 days, but can you play when we ask you?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Remember when everybody wanted Mateo off the team?
Remember when everyone
still want Mateo off the team?
Oh yeah, right.
It's been all over the place. But if you're looking at the guys over the last calendar month,
that's messed up. That's my bad. Sorry, Mateo.
Well, you can fall in love with the player, and all of a sudden you can be pissed off.
Yes,
but you got to ride
yes.
out
I agree.
with what they're doing. I mean, Gary Sanchez, now that he's healthy, came back from the IL and made his impact and made his presence felt against the Angels. So you're looking at this.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, right? I mean, like you're looking at this and going, well, damn, okay, there's some pieces in place.
Here's my thing about that, though, too. I don't know that we'll hop back on track. I was a little bit irked by bringing Sanchez up and sending Mav down, but because what's Charlie Morton going to do now? The Maverick isn't on the team.
Yeah, he loved Mav, man, and Mav
that changed his season. That turned his season around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing that, so to be fair to Charlie and both to Mav, I mean, Charlie is the one that has to go walk the walk,
sure,
right? But what I saw that Charlie appreciated and even said the words was that Mav, he loved how much he wants to learn. He loves how much he wants to try to get to know the guy he's working with, right? You build the relationship, you build a rapport, you get inside their head, you can be more on the same page. And I thought Mav was calling tremendous games, by the way. Like, I loved his pitch selection. He seemed in sync. He read what the hitter was doing. And I think his ERA when Mav was behind the plate was the best of the catchers so far that have been in Baltimore this year. But there is a difference with the bat. That's pretty evident. Gary Sanchez has proven that he can be a big league bat and bring the boom. He brought the boom.
Yeah.
So you got to live with that, right? And I'm with you, though, Brad. I mean, Mav, it brought an energy with him that people could resonate with, and you hate to see that removed.
Called a hell of a game.
He did. But you know what also in this case, with it, I'm glad that Gary's going to come back swinging awesome. You know, brought some boom and brought some energy, brought some grit, Jordan Westberg.
Yes.
That dude hit the ground running. And you know who also brought some energy and is trying to get going? Colton Cowser. So you're looking at all of these guys and this whole team And they still have flaws. The pitching staff is still going to have to go deeper into games. Shout out Dean Kramer last night, though, going 5, getting the win in his 500th K for the good kid. He is a good kid.
He is a good kid.
I don't care what they say about you, Dean. You're a good kid in my book. They're having the moments, but can they have the consistent moments? Because when the starters go deeper into the game, if you guys notice what's also been really damn good?
Bullpen.
The bullpen. And Kittredge being back, he's been comfortable, high leverage guy. Felix Bautista is doing his thing. Brian Baker. So, yeah, they got a lot of work to do. But I just want to take a second to talk about that. And how about that one rumor? I don't want to say rumor, but a lot of talks that maybe the Orioles don't care as much. The young guys, they don't have that drive, which I know from an outsider's perspective, when you're watching the game and you see someone smile when you're losing or you feel that they're not giving the energy, pisses you off. I get it. I've been there. I understand. But why don't we play this clip from Charlie Morton talking about going to work with those guys, these young, talented players each and every day, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
Impressed by the young group in here, because I keep hearing like younger people, younger players, it's like they're not squared away, they don't have their heads on right, or it's just all about the show. And it's like, man, that's not what I see from our guys. Like, I'm really proud of how these guys have gone about their business this year. So either way, I'm really proud, to be in that clubhouse with those guys and watch them go out and go through the grind. And
What happened?
I know that
Did we lose?
Internet. Strategy.
and we're high, and it's been a tough couple months, but man, I tell you, like, these guys are really good.
So if you heard the end of that right there, Charlie Morton saying how hard the guys work. They show up every day, and they're really good. And what was the first thing for this season? If you guys can do your homework and remember this, you're not going to, or if you have the answer, great, I'm still going to tell you anyway. Where was it going to start? If we got back on track here with the camera, and hopefully the internet comes back. Are we back? I think we're back.
I think so.
I think we're back.
All of the
A little storming around here.
comments. Yeah, we've had some flickering.
Yeah. But the point I was trying to make, and one of the emphasis that I had, is you would go as much as your young core leads you. And when this young core plays well, Baltimore Orioles play pretty well. When they don't, that lineup doesn't go. That's the reality. Jackson's started to ascend and show why he was number 1 overall pick. Jordan Westberg, the all-star's back. Gunnar is starting to get going. Adley Rutschman is getting going. Guys that you needed to be those pillars for your team are starting to get going. And then on top of it, your veterans in that rotation have been pitching well. And that has been the exciting part of this process for Baltimore. They got a long way to go, but sitting right now with 90 games to go and only 6 out, yeah, you'll take that, especially where you thought this team and this season could have gone off the rails not even a month ago. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. Do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on Insta or YouTube, X, and Facebook. So appreciate the ones on Facebook. It's been great to get on there and reconnect. I haven't been on Facebook for years, guys. I mean, Zach, I don't think you were born yet when Facebook was created.
Yes, he was.
I know. I was just trying to. You are 2000s, baby, though. We did differentiate that.
Right on it.
Right on it. Hey, before we keep jumping around here, Brad, apparently you have a weird poll rolling. Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't think it was that weird. Maybe it's weird if you have a guilty conscience.
Okay, you want to tell us about it for a second?
Yes. So today's poll is, what's the strangest thing you did while a meeting online? While attending a meeting online.
What? Oh, okay. So what were the options? This is why, okay.
Option number 1, which is in the lead, by the way. So don't give me the look. Took a poop, went to the bathroom. is number one, or number two. Watch Netflix. Only wore a top, and you would be surprised who said that they've only worn a top when they attended a video meeting. And then the last one was comment what you did. There's 16% of the vote, and nobody has written in what they did. So you need to, if you voted, fill in the blank. Essentially, you need to actually put it in the comments. So please tell us what you did that was weird while attending a meeting online.
Yeah. We're talking about a Zoom, right? Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
So camera's on. Camera's got to be on the entire time.
Yeah.
That's bold also, by the way. I get it. You're wearing a shirt.
Yeah, that's
there's a few phrases you can do for just wearing a shirt.
Donald ducking it.
You could be doing that.
I mean, like, I wouldn't call, like, I've done the where I would just have, like, because I used to, like, if I had to present and stuff in class, but it was like over Zoom or whatever, like where I would go like button shirt and like, maybe a coat and then like be in shorts. Like I did that all the time. But I don't think I ever was pants. Like I wasn't.
That's a good point. I'll be honest. If you only have to show the top up.
Yeah, like I would dress up. Like I used to be sweatpants and button down all the time. I have pictures.
Actually,
1,000%. You guys know who Mr. Wonderful is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary.
Yep.
He does that too. He wears flip-flops and shorts and then has the shirt tie. Actually, who was that guy on there was ESPN? What the heck was his name? They did like a commercial where like he was like all dressed up, but then was in his mom's house and takes his hat off and everything. What was it?
Mom, I finished my segment. He actually passed away.
Was that?
Yeah.
John Clayton.
Yeah, John.
That's
Clayton.
who it was. Yeah.
That was a great commercial too.
It was a good commercial.
ESPN used to have some of those iconic commercials right there. This is Sports Center commercials.
Yeah.
Were phenomenal. But to finish the whole shirt situation, if I can be comfy from the waist down, I'm going to be comfy. I could not be that bold to not have nothing underneath though.
Yeah.
Because I always would think the worst case scenario. Like say that you accidentally knocked your laptop, right? Like it moved and you're like, oh no, like I sweat thinking about that. Especially if you're having a conversation. Now going to the bathroom during it, still bold because you're like, what are you putting a filter on to avoid that?
That's
like
right,
it's pretty well known where you are, unless like there's a filter, right? Like you have to act like you're in the studio. I don't know. I think that we're saying you'd have to carry the computer to the toilet.
Well, you could do that if you were that guy that had the green screen behind him and just walked and he was like at sports.
Oh yeah. What was that? Yeah, I know what the guy you're talking about. That with all the
he just walked around with a green screen behind him.
Yeah, because then the Ravens used him in the
they did.
Yeah, the Ravens used him in their schedule release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, and this is a good point, Nick, right there. Going back to the PJ pants and polo shirt before that. That makes, I'm all for that. All for that because you just got to dress to impress up top, be comfy at home down below, but maybe not that comfy. Bottomless, though, that's different. You know what? I'm right there with you. I think that is a bold strategy, Cotton, as they would say in dodgeball. That is not flying for me, but I'm curious where the poll ends up, Brad. And as always,
everybody's pooping.
It's colorful. See, now that's still
everybody. I mean, 60%.
I could not be on. That's leading.
Yeah, 60% of the vote says they're pooping.
Remember Zach when Kevin thought that Brad was the most mature, also, and this is the question that was brought up.
Look, I bring the conversation pieces. Just give me that. We're here talking about it.
It's true. Hey, Joe says that, the reason why we don't see you for the fitness challenges is because
I'm not wearing any pants.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Well, I can confirm you are today because in the studio, we have the policy on Wednesdays that you can wear pants. Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll see how we're feeling that day, right? Just kidding. Of course. This isn't a locker room, even though sometimes we can act a little bit nuts in here. But hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button.
Hey,
Ryan Ripken Show. Go ahead.
You got to poop on company time. That's how that works.
Oh gosh, you know what? You interrupted me to tell that we have to do that on company time. Goodness gracious. But you know what? For you guys, hit that like and subscribe button as always. Don't leave us. Don't leave us. Promise you won't. And hit that like and subscribe button. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've already had some great content and guests so far. We talked to Charlie Morton yesterday. That interview is out now on the YouTube channel. And also MLB Network and MLB on TBS. Lauren Shahadi joined us yesterday, and she is awesome. Not only did she give her take on the Rafael Devers situation, but also her story to get to where she got. I can totally resonate and relate to that. Like, I think people in the process think that, oh, wow, these people became stars. They had things given to you. What was the name of that town yesterday, Zach? Do you remember?
Why not? My not.
Why not? My not. And if you guys know where the hell that is, Brad, do you know where that is?
No, but that does not.
Why not? My
North
not.
Dakota.
I'm glad you worded it the way that you worded it.
Right. It could go a lot of different ways. I had to ask her about 6 times on the show, but it's in North Dakota.
The wrong accent. It's not coming out well for you.
It's not. And you know, another one that I had to learn and pronounce was Matamidi. Shout out the Fighting Mike Bauman's. That's where Dirty Mike is from, up there in the Mott, which is in Minnesota. But you know, she sent out VHS tapes in a pizza box. Sent out 100 of them, and no one took her tape. No one gave her a job except one person. 100 pizzas that she paid for the studio.
No, it was 30 pizzas. She said, She said she sent 100. She said she sent 30 to the top, and no one that she sent a pizza to responded.
Wow.
She said she couldn't get 100 pizzas for financial reasons. And so she's like, she picked 30 and sent 30. Was not one of the people she heard from.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Right? I'm sure that pizza was in the staff room too. I'm sure that immediately was like, guys, got some pizza for today.
Damn, it was from a rando. Nobody thank her. Yeah. Not one person thank her. Yeah. That's not what we do around here.
It's not what we do around here. Also, Lauren had to learn how to use the camera. You know, like the old cameras, going around and cut up everything. So she was learning on the fly, right? So when we're doing all of this, right, it's truly resonating. Let's talk in 5 years of where we're at. 10 years of where we're at. For her, it was climbing the ladder. And now you see her all the time on MLB Network, MLB on TBS, talking about the game. Now, she did give us her opinion on the Rafael Devers situation. And I don't know, do we save that for later? Do we have it now?
Yeah, we have it now. We can do it whenever.
How long is the clip? Do we have?
It's
do you
like,
know?
I think a minute, probably.
A minute? So we could play that real quick. It could set up then this next situation. But Lauren just quickly talked about, hey, you know, stories happen and they break, but she's very intuitive and not going the X's and O's of what it means on the baseball side. But where is this drama around? It's not the baseball town of Rafael Devers. It's what happened that made this go the way that it did. So let's play that clip then, Zach, from Lauren kind of giving her opinion on this situation.
And so what we do on our show, which I think we do it well, is we try to think of all angles. So from going back to the position and, you know, maybe him not wanting to play, I can see from a human perspective, if you're the cornerstone of a franchise and someone hires someone to play your position, I can understand that feels not great. I can totally understand that. I can understand how maybe he thought this is not how you treat your franchise player, the guy who gave the largest contract in franchise history. I can totally understand that. I also understand from the employer perspective, look, this is a business. Like you do what we say. That's the bottom line. You're an employee at the end of the day. I understand both of those things. The Giants got themselves a top of the line bat, top 10 in the game. And they got it. When you look at Vlad and Soto deal, they got it on the cheap. Right? I mean, 8 years. What is it? You know, left 290 left. What was it? 313.
Yeah, and the Giants took all of it too.
They took all of it, exactly. And I think for the Red Sox, I think short term, look, you can't replace that bat. You just can't. You can't replace Rafael Devers right now, especially where they are. But they're. I never count anyone out, especially in the AL East. I don't know what they were, 6 games back, something like that. So for the short term, it's going to hurt for sure. And the management said, I feel like we could win more games now. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But there is something to say about unity and everyone feeling like they want to be there. So maybe all parties can move forward from it.
So right there, I agree with Lauren on that. If you don't know the person, it's hard to really speak on that situation. You're not in the building. Hard to really speak on that situation, despite the reports coming out. And that's not to, say that any reporting that's disingenuous or whatnot, but we have seen a whole lot of reports. Some can be very similar. Some can be, the opposite when it comes to the wording of how things went down. But what's the reality? San Francisco got a top bat. For when you have to pay for a premium bat, they got it on a good deal. The Giants now, they are excited. And whatever it was, you're talking about emotions and feelings. You guys saw the press conference yesterday with Rafael Devers?
Oh, yeah.
And he uses interpreter, right, to give the answer back in English. But that whole thing about, Rafi doesn't want to play first, not a team guy. What's the first thing he says when he goes to San Francisco?
I'll play anywhere.
I'll play anywhere. They make the decisions, not me. So somewhere along this, something gets dragged through the mud. We don't know what's fully true. Go ahead.
I was just going to say we'll have to talk to Nick about Rafael Devers too. Nick Moore, come on the show tomorrow. Allegedly taught him how to speak English. Allegedly, I guess not good enough.
Not good enough, Nick. Not good enough. But
I would love to talk to Nick tomorrow about Devers too, just like as a teammate.
Oh yeah,
just to get his perspective because they were teammates when Nick was in the minors.
Yeah, and I think though, just to be fair, and I'm seeing some comments. Mouse Talk, I just saw what you said about. Let's see if he's singing the same tune in a few weeks. I think when you go to a place that you feel appreciated and you get out of it, whether things are good or bad all the time, I think, is life always great? No. Right? I don't care if you're getting paid all the money in the world. I know that people can say money, money allows more things. Yeah, you're right. Money does allow you flexibility, and money can lead to feeling less stressed and more relaxed and giving you opportunities to do more. But money doesn't equal happiness, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
The Rafael Devers situation wasn't about money from the Red Sox. It was a pride thing. It was an ego thing. It was the not feeling appreciated, right? And then in this process, whether it's right or wrong, whoever's at fault, well, Devers' name's getting dragged through everywhere. And you know why I'm bringing this up is we're talking about people that know him. David Ortiz made a comment saying Rafi never returned his calls. So a legend in Boston who also, through all the times, it wasn't all great there for David Ortiz, but they stayed together. It was a marriage. They were there for a long time. That's pretty damning when a Red Sox legend says something. But then how about the other side of this? How about another Red Sox legend that came to the defense of Rafael Devers last night on MLB on TBS, Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez? Well, he kind of gave his opinions on the ones that were really trying to bring Rafael Devers down as a teammate. So let's play that clip for you guys.
Initially, when you heard it, Pedro?
I was shocked, just like everybody else. I was shocked because if you try to sell to me, knowing Rafi Devers, that Rafi is a bad teammate or he's not a team player, you're lying. You're going to tell me he's a bad influence in the clubhouse? He's not. Does he want to play every single day? Yes, that's probably why he was mad. Well, the thing got mishandled from the get-go. And I think if I'm Jimmy and I'm Grandy and we have an ex-teammate or a teammate that's not doing things like they should be doing, we pull him aside, all three of us, and we convince him to come into the things that we want to do together. This should have been in the hands of baseball people, not front office people, not leaking it to the media, not having a back and forth between the media and Alex and Sam Kennedy and Breslow. Right. So I think it should have been handled by baseball people, Pedroia, Big Papi.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So Pedro coming to the defense of Rafi and saying, well, first off, he's saying he's a good teammate. Now, again, it's someone else's word versus other reports, right? Because some people were saying the report yesterday, right, Zach, that Devers was mad Christian Campbell was the one that was offering to play first. So whatever it is, you're hearing all these things out there.
Yeah.
You know, but one thing I can definitely agree on in this whole situation, when Boston decided to talk about this publicly in spring training and make the quote, you know, one quote that sticks out to me is Cora going, he's not, you know, we don't want him to pick up a glove. Right? You remember that comment around there? Right? And I think it was Cora that said it.
There were slights up, you know.
There were
all
slights,
throughout.
and it was petty, and it was also in the public. And when you do that, you are asking for criticism. You are asking for the publicity to hit you. And guess what? The media has swarmed this
and
situation.
I mean, like, look at it from Rafael Devers' aspect. He I mean, to his fault, I believe as well, went pretty public with, hey, if you guys sign Alex Bregman, like, where the hell is he playing? Because I know my ass ain't moving from third base. So then when you publicly do that, now the Red Sox are publicly signing Alex Bregman against what their star player asked for. So now what's the media do? Hey, Rafi, how do you feel about this? Are you going? And they're trying to pick at it. So like you said, Ryan, if this would have been an internal thing, I don't think it ever gets to this point. If this is internal, if this is like Pedro and is talking about, and this is, oh shit, we got to get some people in here to talk straight to these guys and, you know, get this going and see, you know, have them see what this can be. We're not in this situation, but it was public from the get-go. And the second this stuff goes public, the media is going to, like you said, they're going to swarm. They see blood in the water and they see a story and, you know, they see the lead of, ooh, things aren't going well in Boston. And what do they want to do? They want to find out what's not going well. So then sources start leaking stuff. Quotes start getting out. Quotes start getting asked about at press conferences, and whether no comment or a bad comment is said about it, spiraled. And then suddenly we went from laughing about this in March going, oh, this is winning fixes everything. This is going to be a story for 2 weeks. Devers is going to get over it. They're going to start winning. They're going to be great. And now here we sit on June 18th talking about how Rafael Devers had 2 hits last night for the San Francisco Giants.
And you know what? He had a great debut. He looked happy to be there.
He did.
And he rakes. You know, you could say he's not a good defensive third baseman anymore, whatever you want to go out there metrically. That's fine. But it does go back to how it's handled, Brad. And in general, when you handle things out of house, once it gets out of the house, the door is wide open. And for Boston, also think about the markets you're in. You know, New York, Boston, LA, those conversations are going to leak even more. Why? Because you're going out there and teams and people and the world are focusing on those big markets. You know, another reason why people are going to go after it? When it's your best hitter on your team and the face of your franchise. Oh, and by the way, didn't the Red Sox just go and get Garrett Crochet? And didn't they just go and sign some players? And didn't people say they were trying to win right now? And you start off that campaign. Oh, yeah, you get Alex Bregman, by the way. We just talked about that during this conversation, right? Once it gets out, Brad, whoever's fault it was can say whatever it is. Boston has no one to blame but themselves for how this ended up getting to where it got to.
I agree. Like, to surmise everything that Zach had said and everything that you have said, I think that this is the difference between good organizations and bad organizations. And I know it's apples and oranges, but when you look at like the Ravens, for example, in the NFL, you don't hear about this shit. And when you do, it's already been handled. And I think that it just speaks to the belief in the organization that you work for, play for, what have you, that we're going to take care of you one way or the other. Hey, we're going to bring in a guy that probably is going to take over your spot, but we're going to let you know about it. And then you get to compete for it. Like, I think that if it would have been handled that way, Devers would still be in Boston. I just firmly believe that. It can't be that he just got pissed off because they brought this guy in. No, they brought Bregman in and didn't tell Devers about it and then told him what he was going to be doing rather than like bringing him in on a decision like this, because he is your star player. He was the staple. You didn't sign him for 10 years for nothing. You wanted him to be the face of the franchise. So if you're going to basically rug pull the face of your franchise, then you have, like you said, Rip, have nobody else to blame but yourself. I just don't see how the Red Sox become truly contenders under this type of regime. Something has to change.
Well, and there's other reports saying, because you know what gets criticized besides then your play on the field? Now they're criticizing how you run your organization, how you are hiring people.
Yeah.
Hell, how you're firing people. It's one thing after another. You brought up the Ravens and organizations where you don't hear a peep from when things happen.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, but they handle it internally, do that. Look at the organizations that have had struggle over their run. It's the teams that usually have something going on when you're looking at it. The Cleveland Browns in the NFL, how much distractions have we had outside of the game there, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot. They're constantly in the news. New York Jets, a lot of conversations about what's going wrong. When things aren't going right and how things are being handled, people are going to look into what you're doing. Hell, I was looking at this, and I might have to pull this up while we're waiting here, Brad.
God, the Jets too. Like,
yeah, and that's what I was saying. I actually just saw a clip. I haven't heard it yet, but I think he went on Bleacher Report earlier today. Pedro actually made a comment about Big Papi making a comment about Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull. I think I have it right here. Do you mind once I pull it up, we can just hear? I'm curious.
Toss it up.
Okay, because I think it's with trying to see if it was on. It might have been with Scruggs here too. I think this is it right now. I'm going to pull it up because I'm curious. So here's Pedro Martinez's comments about Big Papi and the whole Devers situation.
Big Papi also made a mistake in the spring training by speaking in front of the cameras about some of the things that he needed to tell Devers. And just like I said before, that should have been handled in-house. Big Papi should have gone out with Devers to talk about those things, not really openly speak in the field, because the cameras are able to pick up everything we say, every whisper that we have out there is being picked up by the microphone. So that was the first mistake from Big Papi. The other thing is, I don't like to hear those comments after things happen like that. I would love for Big Papi to come over, grab Devers, go to a restaurant, go to his house, throw a barbecue, and talk to Devers in his house.
Throw a barbecue.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind a barbecue. I'll be honest here. That sounds really damn good. Big Papi barbecue. Hey, let's do it there. Gotta say, I bet it'd have a little Latin fusion too with the food. Yeah. I'm a big Latin food guy. I'd get on board, but here's the thing, right? Getting on board. The Red Sox hadn't gotten on board, and now Craig Breslow, their general manager, head of baseball operations, their goal is, they said, that they are trying to change the culture and identity. And with their young stars coming up, they said this is going to help them in the long run, which, you know what, it very well could. But in the process right now, if Rafael Devers goes to San Francisco and he rakes and the Giants win, and they win because of the impact that he has, then it's only going to heat up there in Boston for all the things that have gone wrong. But infrastructurally, this is a conversation around the game of baseball and around life. Look at all the companies. When you have more distractions or you got more noise that gets outside the building, makes it really hard to concentrate on all the good that you are trying to continue to do on a day-to-day basis. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on X, YouTube, and Facebook. I did see this one comment from Adit. I wanted to touch on this because it's down the road, and we're talking about performance. And actually, we didn't even talk about this. Did you guys see Dave Martinez, the manager of the Washington Nationals, a couple days ago, his comments?
No.
When the team was losing? And he said when the team's struggling, did you see this, Zach?
No.
When the team's struggling, he said, it's really not on the coaches. And I was trying to, let me find I want to see where this quote is. Where is it? Here it was. This was earlier, that it's never on the coaching. All right. So I think the context of it, they're going through it. And yeah, this was back last week, I guess, was when it was. And saying that it's never on coaching. It's never on coaching. Coaches work their asses off every single day. And so that was one line that went out there, right, when they were struggling. And that was during their 7-game losing streak. You don't really hear that when things go wrong. You hear coaches say, like, we suck. We got to be better. And I know that he's just trying to motivate his team. To answer the question in general, I think the lack of performance for the Nats, talking about a young team and setting the culture and the standard, you know, you can look at it with Rizzo. He did just make an unbelievable trade for those guys. James Wood, superstar. CJ Abrams, all-star caliber player.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore, top-of-the-line rotation caliber guy. Then you got Robert Hassel. You got some pieces there that you can really work with. The Nats bullpen was always an issue going into this year, and it looked like that they were turning the corner until this losing streak. So I'm not going to put that all on Rizzo. You know, when they decided they were going to go into a rebuild after moving Soto, you know, that was going to take more time. I do think that the Nats, next year, you got to have a different conversation, but I think right now it's the product of teams not gelling. This young talent's trying to figure it out. Haven't you guys heard that before, right? There isn't a true, like, veteran type of guy on this team. And you're still trying to navigate an extremely challenging NL East where you guys are playing catch up to the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves. You know, Marlins are the Marlins right now. So
yeah,
that's what I have to say on that when it comes to all of this. I saw this one. I know I was just reading a couple. The one comment here from Mouse Talk about the having experienced a coaching staff top to bottom, a young team. Yeah, experienced coaching does matter. And Dave Martinez, they did win. Now, I will say them going on a run to win the World Series might have saved his job at the time, right? Because they were really struggling back in 2019, 19-31, then they go on a run and win the World Series. That's why the Reds got Terry Francona, go get an experienced leader.
Yeah.
Went and got the guy, right?
Right.
I think it's either you have to have such experienced coaching or your culture and your blueprint of how you develop guys is so damn good. You know why I'm going to that? Is because the team the Orioles are playing, to me, do it better than anybody else in a small market. Tampa Bay is phenomenal at developing guys. They are phenomenal at putting out a team that you have no idea how they keep winning games. Zach, remember when we did that little game last week? Most wins in the last 15 years, the Rays rank 4th.
Yeah.
Who's their full stars? Well, when they have the stars, they trade them.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Glasnow, they traded for a guy in Ryan Pepio. I think I'm pronouncing it right. He's a stud. They traded for Shane Baz. They're the second best team in the AL East. The Rays guys are ready to go to the big leagues. Kevin Cash is a good manager, but the point being, is that more experience or is that more that those guys are ready to play and know what is being asked of them? I guess that's the point you got to figure out. I know for the Orioles, if that's what they want to lean on and not spend a lot of money, which I think they will spend more money, then you got to try to be like Tampa Bay. Washington's in that weird position where they can spend more money. It's just got to be, when are they going to make that big splash again? I think it will be next year, but I guess time will tell, because they do have really good pieces and they have proven to spend money in the past before they really blew it up. Talk about a team that had a great team. Scherzer, Turner, Harper. It's impressive, right? We'll see what happens there. Talk about spending money, though, or spending money, spending money. The Rays don't spend a lot of money, but the new owner might be getting a whole hell of a lot. Do you guys see that report out there? The Rays reportedly could be sold upcoming here for $1.7
on the cheap
billion dollars.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
That's a steal. I mean, it's going to take some more money to turn that organization around, to get fans in, butts in the seats and all that, because winning obviously doesn't do it for the Rays for whatever reason. But That's pretty cheap for a professional sports team in 2025.
When you think about the valuation, well, the Orioles were sold for right around that price. I think maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I think, and I wonder this too, Brad, Tampa's future is still murky because everything with the Trop, they're playing at the Yankees spring training facility at George Steinbrenner Field, where the ball flies, by the way, Zach. Maybe you should have had some of these bets on this series with Tampa Bay and the Orioles, because, you know, maybe you need to switch it up again. But the Rays,
not betting on the Nats anymore.
No, don't do that either. Yeah, we'll get. Don't worry, we're getting into that in a second there, Buttercup. But the Rays, there's a lot of decisions. Will they actually play in Tampa where they are currently right now? Will they go back to St. Pete? Or maybe just like with the A's no longer going to be in the sack. They're going to be sackless, Brad.
Yes.
They're going to Vegas, right? Do the Rays possibly relocate? Because I'll tell you what, man, going to play or watch a game in Florida outside.
Brutal.
I wouldn't. I love baseball. In the summer, have you guys been down to Florida? And if you're not playing a ball game and you're not under shade, you know how freaking hot it gets down there?
It's brutal.
Shirts and pants, man. It's a game changer.
I don't know. I mean, this is obviously there's the Marlins as well. I don't think it serves the MLB to have a team in Florida, especially when there's other states, other areas that are legit baseball towns or regions. North Carolina looking at you, or even like Nashville area. I mean, I think Charlotte, obviously they have the Knights there, the minor league affiliate, but putting a baseball team in Charlotte, they would sell out that stadium, that area. I think the baseball in North Carolina, South Carolina area, and you know this, Rip, is unbelievable. The baseball scene there is crazy.
They don't have a big league team in that North Carolina, South Carolina region. Now, in Florida, though, you know when it's going to sell out? When they have the World Baseball Classic down in Miami.
Yeah, but that's one game.
That thing's popping, but to the point, right? The Marlins have to be relevant. They're not relevant right now to see if people want to be a part of that, right?
Even when they won the World Series, though, like they weren't like
no, you're right. It's not that people are jumping up and down. Yeah, let's go to see the Marlins play.
Yeah.
Right? It never was.
And the Rays are the same way.
If you're going to have a stadium in Florida, it needs to be a retractable roof or just a dome. It's too hot.
It needs to be an experience. Like baseball just can't be the reason you go to either one of those stadiums. It has to be an experience so that they actually want to go and have a good time and maybe watch some baseball. I think that's the only way that you can make that happen in any Florida MLB organization.
Yeah. And also too, I wonder as well, it's different with hockey teams, right? Because teams can really people can get behind those teams, the Lightning and the Panthers, which, by the way,
holy shit. Yeah.
The Panthers and Kobe Mayo was right all along. Get by the first round, you're winning the whole damn thing. They did. Shout out the Florida Panthers and shout out Kobe Mayo. We might have that clip as we close out the show. But I'm with you, Brad. And the other part of it is so many people do migrate to Florida for winter months and they leave.
Yep.
And there's so much other things to do down there. If you're going to be outside, what would you rather do? You probably want to go to a beach or be on a golf course. Going and watching a game in 90-degree heat is not always on someone's bingo card. Look, I played the game. I love it. If I'm not playing, I don't know if I want to be out in 95-degree heat unless I am out there because I'm passionate enough. And you know what? If you're passionate enough for your squad, power to you, man. I'm all for that. But Florida, I'm with you. We'll see what happens with the Rays.
Just get them both out. Just get them both out of there.
Get them on out of here. Well, guess what? They might be on their move in just a little bit of time. But at least they have the World Baseball Classic.
Have you ever run into a Rays fan? I don't think I have. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody walking down the street.
You mean the St. Petersburg Rays? Because that's what they'd been up until
the George Steinbrenner Rays.
Really is. The Steinbrenners actually own two teams. Yes. That's what it feels like.
I just don't.
And they just win though too. Tampa just
that's my point.
Wins.
That's my point. Mm-hmm. Like they win ball games in their lower market team, and that's what I said earlier. Winning isn't going to fix anything down there. It needs to be an experience to want to go to something like that. That's what I'm saying. Get both of them out of Florida,
and maybe they'll listen to you. Maybe they won't though. There'd be a lot of debt if that stadium in Miami vacated. Why? Well, they put a lot of money into that stadium.
They did, but I mean,
and they tried to make it an experience down there. I'm still not exactly sure what the experience is, but they made it into something nonetheless. But you know what, guys? If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do it live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. You like that? When I move, you move, Zach.
Just like
that. Let's go and talk about your failures.
Actually,
in the betting
kind of
world.
hot. We're kind of hot besides last night.
Okay, well, let's recap what's been going on for you in the betting space as we take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Boom. Well, our friends up at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races, fellas, we're going to be up there June 28th. That's 10 days away. And actually, since we talked about the Nationals, Mr. National Ryan Zimmerman is going to be there up at the Sportsbook, ESPN Bet Sportsbook in Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races from 4 to 7 p.m. on that Saturday. We'll be live up there. Come hang out with us. You have an opportunity if you wear your favorite jersey, but we got a lot of Orioles fans, maybe some Nats fans. Maybe there are some Tampa Bay Rays fans, Brad.
Maybe.
Doubtful, but there might be some. But if you wear a jersey out to the casino that day, they're going to give you a raffle ticket. And that raffle ticket puts you in for an opportunity to win signed items from Ryan Zimmerman. Then they're also going to have the little duck ponds going, the fake ducks, the plastic ones.
Yep.
But you have a chance to win some prizes there, and the monies and proceeds go to the Zim Foundation helping MS, those that deal with MS. And then maybe I got to bring up my broken bats that I used of Ryan Zimmerman's model. That's where I used. I have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a must.
Have to. And we'll also place our bet. I don't know if is Brad on our good list to place the team bet.
Yeah, I think it was just Rocco.
I mean, Rocco was for sure.
I've been
Rocco.
solid on my all football season long last year. I was solid.
Yeah, and then we had
I had the Zay Flowers bet.
Yeah, what I love for you is you don't even go a little bit over. It's like, hey, let's just escalate this puppy.
Yeah, Zay Flowers,
50 yards, screw it. Give me 150.
Yeah, that's how you know that I used to trade penny stocks because I'm just like, put it all on red.
Yeah, might as well.
No. Well, what did you put it all on this week here for Hollywood Casinos?
Last night we start off with an L because James Wood, guy just likes to walk. I guess they're afraid of him. Another tough night for the Nationals, so we're staying away from the 10-game losing streak. Washington Nationals. Go with Ellie De La Cruz, 2+ bases. Ellie's been hot recently, and the biggest thing is, honestly, I just want someone with speed who, if the ball gets in the outfield, can just run to second and get it over with quick. So, that's what we're going with tonight. Ellie De La Cruz, 2+ bases.
I like that.
Lock it in.
Who are they playing again?
They're playing the Twins. Bailey Ober on the mound for the Twins.
I'm a little nervous for you. So what are you're 1-1 on the week? 0-2.
0-1 on the week.
0-1. That's right. We only had a show yesterday.
Yeah, this is the second day of the week.
It feels like a full week already.
It's because Kyle's not here to keep us humble.
I know. We'll have him tomorrow.
It does feel like a Thursday.
We'll
It's
have
going
him
to really
tomorrow.
mess me up because, I know, but even having him tomorrow,
we'll feel like
you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
what do we do here? It's like the Spider-Man. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's not exactly Spider-Man. That's supposed to be like we're all the same person, or like, whoa. Right? Right? No, put your hands out further.
Yeah,
like, hey,
that was
maybe stand up. Lift your traps. Is that what you're doing? Well, maybe Zach will have some energy on Thursday then when it comes to
over here raising the traps. Where are you talking? I'm like flying over here.
there
Angels
it
in
is.
the outfield.
Yeah.
No, that's
There we
good.
go, baby.
Good kid. But yeah, tomorrow, Kyle, we're going to be in here. We should do a proper Papa Shot Deep Eddy Vodka Challenge. And then also, Kyle's going to help us learn to make a Snickerdoodle iced coffee. I had it the other day at the Iron Rooster. It's Fordham Lee's. They have their bourbon and their liqueurs. We tried the chocolate one the other day, Zach. phenomenal.
Very nice.
They have a snickerdoodle one that goes in with iced coffee. I got to say, shirts and pants, man, it went down too smooth. It was like a milkshake. It was so damn good.
Yeah.
So Kyle, Cafe Ripken and Bar Ripken will be open tomorrow right here on the show. But we appreciate our sponsor up there, Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races and West Virginia. In under 2 seconds, Zach, when I move, you move.
Just
Hey,
like
if
that.
you're a new member and you bet $10 on ESPN Bet, you get up to 100 in bonus bets, but you must download the ESPN Bet app, and you got to be 21 years or older. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or our friend Rocco DeSangro for all of your problems. And happy birthday again to Rocco. It was yesterday, but we'll give the good kid one little hurrah.
I did text him yesterday.
He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
He deserves a happy birthday.
Yeah, he does. We also got our name. We got to name the rooster here this week.
We already named him.
Oh, Kyle the cock.
Yeah, but we're not telling Kyle from Iron Rooster.
Yeah, we're not going to tell Kyle that yet. So if he's listening, Kyle, meet Kyle.
The Iron Cock.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that might not be a nickname that's allowed. Brad.
Was it taken?
Could be taken, and we're not exactly sure.
My
Could
bad.
be. Could be. But are we doing the fitness test today? Is that why you put it up?
Well, no, that's what I was going to ask. Do we want to do it after food tomorrow?
I feel like it should. It goes hand in hand. Plus, I already got another pull up.
Ooh. Yeah, and Matt, why no cooking today? It was just some situations with Kyle where he just said, "Hey, can we push it to Thursday?" And I'm like, you're going to cook a meal for us. Fine. We'll wait till Thursday to let it happen. Oh, you let us go there and we get brunch and have a good time. Fine. We'll wait till tomorrow. But we all have to be in on this, Brad.
Okay.
People have been wondering
if
we're going to see Mr. Brad out there on the testing. I got to be at Merit Clubs in the morning to do a performance test at 10
Somebody's got to
a.m.
run the camera.
Well, no, don't worry. You can take a load off. And by load off, get out there and find that dog or find out there and do that fitness test. It's always a great day, though, when Kyle comes in. And we're going to do more and more activities with the community. You'll see more of that. We're actually going to do our show at Merit. We had to reschedule it because of the weather. This freaking weather.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I'm all about the hot weather in the summer, but can we just have some more sun?
And then 100 and 103 on Monday and Tuesday.
All right. I don't want that. You didn't have to come here with that.
I'm just saying. It's like one extreme or the next.
So we will wait. What are you drawing over there?
I'm writing Kyle's choice on the. So we'll have 5 options and then Kyle's choice.
Oh,
so if it
for
lands on it, Kyle gets to pick.
Oh, there you go.
Make it a little interesting.
I like that.
I
like that.
I haven't finished it, but
Why is
we'll put Kyle's on it.
Brooks is a bad influence on this show.
Yes. Yes, he is. No, we appreciate all of our members here in our community because you guys make this go.
Maybe it's just like the age or whatever. We just have similar levels of immaturity.
Is that an age thing or is that just something you always have?
Oh, I definitely have always had it.
Yeah. Again, it's still when Kevin, because I think Brad's really immature.
was
What
the
the
wildest-
hell
that was
are
the
you
worst-
talking
That was
about?
the worst take on this show. He was so serious about it too. And me and Ryan were like,
Of all of the people that you could have
I
chosen,
think
here.
it's Brad. Have you been here?
Yeah. Have you
Have
seen?
you watched the show?
Did you just see the poll that was put out today and the options?
Dad jokes.
Hooping on
Dad
Zooms.
jokes before I was a dad as well.
Oh, goodness gracious. But one thing that you have done, and you know what, but we love it. We love our audience going out there and being a part of the entire process, right? The good, bad, and the ugly. We mess up, we have moments, we have fun, and we're not afraid to admit all of that, right? So if you're new to the channel and you like that, hit that subscribe button, right? I think we're okay with messing up. I don't care with making a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I don't think the chat does either. I see it. That's
Highly
what it's all
encouraged.
about. Yeah. I mean, to a certain level, then we might just say, hey, heel cinnamon. But overall, be you. That's what we're trying to do here on a day-to-day basis. But Brad, since you are back, and we do have to wrap up here relatively soon.
Yep.
So we got it because we got things left on the schedule here today.
See that?
What I love is when you're here of us having some this day in history facts.
Yes.
Do we call that Brad, like facts with Brad or Brad's?
We
I don't
should
know.
have a better name than Facts with Brad.
I don't really like that.
Facts with Brad.
I don't know.
We'll crowdsource. Put suggestions
please
in
do
comments.
That. Everybody but Brooks.
All right. So let's go on a little history tour with our friend Mr. Brad. There we go.
Okay. So 1911, we're going back a little bit. Another over 100-year this day in history. The Detroit Tigers overcame a 12-run deficit. So they were down 13-1 in 3 innings. They came back to defeat the Chicago White Sox, one of the greatest comebacks in baseball history.
Wow.
16-15 was the final score there.
Shirts and pants 114 years ago.
Yeah.
Zach wouldn't be born for another 89.
I don't know if that math actually worked.
Weren't you born in 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
1911. Okay, that you know what? Hey,
I was doing the
roll
math.
dons, right? Is that what it roll dons right there?
I was doing the math complete. I was trying to subtract. I was like, okay, 25 minus 100. I was like, shit, you did that math really quick. I wasn't thinking of doing 1911 to 2000.
It's you know what? I pride myself. Go Hounds on that. Brad, continue on.
The New York Yankees first baseman, Lou Gehrig, played his 2000th consecutive game, a milestone in his iconic Iron Horse streak.
How about that? Right? When you actually look back at that record,
yeah,
we obviously know someone broke it because he just thought, hey, I'm going to play in a bunch of games. Cool. But it actually is really cool to think about how long that one lasted and how it started too. The whole process. You guys heard Wally Pipp, right?
Yep.
And if those that haven't heard Wally Pipp, that was the first baseman that started before Lou Gehrig. And then Wally took a day off. Lou inserted himself then in the lineup, or got put in the lineup, I should say. And the rest is history. And the Iron Horse went on to have an illustrious career, to say the least. Continue on, Brian.
Here's the interesting one that I didn't have enough time to look this up. So if there's internet sleuths out there that can find this out for me, I would love to know who else this happened to. But in 1990, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox played a game that ended in a rare 7-7 tie after 10 innings due to rain. And it was one of the few tie games in modern MLB history, as rainouts typically result in suspensions or cancellations.
Didn't they was it either they called it a tie? They didn't call it a tie. I think they just threw the game out, because wasn't it a few years ago where 2 teams played just 161 games because they were like, it didn't matter in the standings at all. So they were like, there's no reason to make this up. Forget when that was, but I remember it was just a few years ago where same thing, not a tie, but they were like, there's no reason. It was towards the end of the year. And they're like, listen, if this matters, we'll play it. If not, we're just going to forget about it. I think they just forgot about it.
How about that?
I don't know.
What would you do? What would you want to see break a tie besides, if people were saying a home run derby or, if it's not just playing the game out, maybe just a good on.
This is what it was 2016. 6 teams only played 161 games
because it didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it was because final game of the season for 3 games were rained out and it didn't matter in the standings at all. So they just were like, well, thanks guys. Have a good off season.
The more you know. The more you know with all of that. I still think maybe you get your best 3 guys and you just duke it out, or 1v1.
I like that.
Like in the movie Troy, where it's like, hey, you get your best warrior and then they get their best warrior and you fight it out. And then it's like the opening scene of the movie. Zach hasn't seen this movie at all. Yeah, well, that's later on. That's iconic. There. Might be one of Brad Pitt's.
Oh, but
Brad's done a lot of good movies.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to watch Formula One, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Kelly was supposed to go to that premiere.
Oh, really?
She's unfortunately a little banged up right now on the IL. She's on the IL.
Still recovering.
Shout out Llama. She'll be in here when she's off the IL, but she's got to rest.
Yeah.
To say the least here. Zach has no idea about the Hector moments, has no idea about
God, what a good
Achilles, has no idea of like when you're wondering like what I used to look like when I played. I looked like Brad Pitt in that movie, like just shredded.
I've seen the gifs, but that's about it.
Oh yeah.
That's do you like that type of movie? Do you like action?
Like Gladiator type of movie?
No.
What do you like? You know what? That's a loaded
sit
question.
down and I genuinely, when I watch a movie, I am like a big, like I'm comedy. Like that's really when, like if I'm picking the movie, it's going to be a comedy. It's going to be a stupid comedy.
What? Okay. Give me a stupid comedy. I'm
talking
be mad.
like the Will Ferrells,
the other guys.
Yeah.
He's
Stuff
never
like
seen
that.
the other
Yeah, I've
guys.
never seen the other guy.
That's
Yeah.
the most quotable movie of all time.
Time out. How can you just throw out Will Ferrell movies and not see some of the best movies
The other
Will Ferrell
guys
has to offer?
Because,
Jesus.
you know,
If you say like
I was
Step-
glued
whatever
to
the-
Sports Center as a kid. Like that was that when I say that was all like I even like I never was someone who was like, let me go toss on a movie. Even like flipping channels. Like I wasn't someone like if I was flipping channels, I would go on like ESPN3 where it was like ping pong over just watching the movie. Like I was that kid where like they're like, who's even watching this? It was me.
Competitive puzzle building.
Like,
you have
when they were playing cornhole, you bet your ass I was tuned in.
Jesus.
and
Christ.
this was like on our day in history about how do you for those that are wondering, it's how do you break a tie? We went from Troy Hector to Zach hasn't seen any movie, and then Zach's a comedy guy, but I don't watch Will Ferrell movies. I just say that I do.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Brad. Any other facts?
I got two more. The Indians set an MLB record for the most in 2017. Cleveland Indians at the time set an MLB record for the most runs scored in a single inning without a home run in the fourth inning. Against the Twins, they scored 12 runs on singles, doubles, walks, and errors, winning the game 15-9. Kind of interesting. And in 2019, the New York Mets rookie Pete Alonso hit his 24th home run of the season against the Atlanta Braves, setting a franchise record for the most home runs before the All-Star break as a goddamn rookie.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, that was the same year he was in the home run derby and beat everybody in that too.
Oh, holy shirts and pants. That was a good time. That showed the polar bear had some pop, right?
Yeah.
And I like these days back in history, Brad. We got to come up with a better name.
I know.
But I think a lot of people like going back in time with Mr. Brad. There's got to be something. Going back in time.
We'll think.
Going through history. Yeah, I know. Unique New York. We'll figure that all out.
I had one last poll though too.
You have one last poll? I'm afraid. Go ahead.
You should be, because I'm going to, well, I'm curious as to what your answer is going to be, and then I'll tell you what your answer actually is. Which lie do you tell the most often? The options are 5 more minutes, on my way, I'm listening, and I didn't see your text. This one's actually split pretty easily or pretty well.
I'm a big, if I'm 10 minutes out, I'll text you I'm 5 minutes out. Like that's how I'll be like, I can get there in 5. Like I'm just like, when I'm driving, I think that's gotta be when I'm driving, I really don't have a concept of like it could be telling me I'm 10 minutes out and I'm like, yeah, I'm 5 minutes out. I'm literally right here. What's it telling me I'm 10 minutes out for? And that takes me 10 minutes, especially in the city. I'll be like, I'm literally 0.5 miles away. I'm like, yeah, I'm 2 minutes away. I show up like 13 minutes later.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely on the one of, hey, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we know.
What are you trying to say? Huh? What are you trying to tell me right now?
You know, I was gonna pick either that or I'm on my way for Rip.
Yeah.
But at least you're honest with yourself.
Hey, I'm always honest. Always honest.
Mine's definitely probably I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
When you're not listening.
I'm scrolling through my phone and actually trying to think I'm listening, but I'm really not.
We had one of those the other day, Zach, when we were talking about what were we talking about in last week's show of it was last Tuesday or Wednesday. About when someone says something and it's just like that's just erroneous.
It was the different things of like, oh, the name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Or like,
Oh
when
yeah. It's on the same. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking
or
about.
the movie
no idea
thing.
who you're talking
Have you
about.
seen? Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah,
Or I've seen parts of it.
That's you right there. I've seen parts of it.
I've seen parts of it.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, but I'm straight up. I've seen parts of it in GIFs on Twitter. You know, so yeah. I'm not claiming I've seen half the movie. I've seen maybe.
I've seen enough GIFs to know how it goes.
I know. I've seen about 13 seconds worth of GIFs from the movie, so I can pretty much get the basis.
Oh goodness, what are we gonna do with this group?
Have you ever seen a desk pop?
That's September 08.
What was your last desktop?
September 08. The thing is, like, Zach is sitting there like, I'm smiling. Oh, he's not even smiling.
I'm gonna
no
laugh
clue
like I know what you're talking
about.
Oh goodness!
I
That's
wasn't
the
even
other
gonna
one when
pretend.
someone laughs at the jokes and
Yes.
has
Oh, and
no
has no
idea what the hell's happening.
Yeah, it doesn't get the joke.
Or shows up halfway through the joke,
Yeah.
like in a group, and just starts laughing with the group, even though they didn't hear what they were even talking about.
Yeah.
That's another big one.
That is another big one. Well, guys, I think that does it for today's show. It's been one hell of a show. It's great having Brad back in the studio. You'll be here tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. Fortunately, unfortunately, Zach Bollinger's going to be back.
And actually, real fast, because I have to bring this up now. Loyal Blakefield Dan Klink named Gatorade Nationals Boys Soccer Player of the Year. Beat out over 500,000. So roll on.
Damn.
Can he add up to 100?
Yeah.
Or to 2,000?
Well, the 89.
Yeah. Can you do some simple math?
You know, I hope he does. He had three. Actually, it says in the article 3.89 GPA. So good for him. You know?
How about that?
There we go.
I'm proud of him.
Roll Dons, baby. Roll Dons. It's
Not as
almost
proud
like
of-
we all. It's almost like we all won Gatorade Player of the Year. You know,
He's definitely one of those guys. If one does it, we all do it,
Yeah.
right? And
as a collection of Gatorade Player of the Years.
yeah, Brad, you go out there and have all your success. We did it.
We did it, baby.
We did it.
Yeah,
Did you help anything with this?
We did it.
Nope.
I'm the guy who got the A on the group project.
That's right.
You know, we did it, baby. Gatorade Player of the Year.
Oh, goodness. Well, we might have some more guests tomorrow that are going to join us, so stay tuned on that. I got to check, actually, the scheduling. But we will have Kyle in studio. We're going to be cooking it up with him and with Kyle the Cock's going to join us as well. That will be their meeting, and hopefully the Orioles are winning the series and moving on to the next one. But, Brad, I think that's it.
From Dirty Mike and the Boys.
From Dirty Mike and the Boys. Can we cue the music? Oh, we're back. Haven't had the music in a week.
Really?
As always here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. And as always here, have a day, have a night, have a great stinking weekend. I'm just kidding, because we'll be back tomorrow for a brand new show on Thursday. I might have forgotten, but guess what here? We'll see you tomorrow. You guys be good. The days are throwing me off too now, Brad.
Oh, my
Oh, man. I'm embarrassed.